gold. That's what this is. So this isn't clad, right? Right, Mike?
No.
So this is solid.
This pure 24 karat gold.
Yeah.
Or pure 99% gold. So I had a very quick airing earlier today, and I sold 14 coins. I could well sell all of what I have right here, right now. So the United States government has been making the $50 gold eagle since 1986. Since 1986, folks.
Okay. They
started making the burnished gold eagle, which is what this is. The SP stands for, it's a burnished gold coin. They've been making that since 2006. That tends to be the rarest gold coin put out by the government each year. The 2017 last year was one of our absolute best sellers. The 2017 took about a year, almost a full year to sell out from the United States government. It actually sold out in this year, 2018. The 2018 coin, however, when the United States Mint announced that they would have a maximum mintage of 10,000, we don't know what the actual mintage is going to be. When it went on sale Wednesday, it sold out in 1 minute. I have been in this business my entire adult life. I have sold every single one of these gold eagles as they have been released by the United States government. I have never seen a regular issue United States gold coin, proof, mint stay, SP finish, sell out immediately upon release. It just doesn't happen. And when you look at all of the prior year's eagles, there are many of them, of course, that are significantly more than this price of $3,499.95. This is my price. This is my original issue price. As a matter of fact, even though it's sold out literally 500 times or 5,000 times faster, it's $300 less or $400 less than the 2017 Eagle. Okay, this coin sold out significantly faster and is a significantly better coin in that regard. The United States government completely and totally sold this out in about 1 minute. They then took back orders and they said, so we'll send you your coins if there's any left over in October. So good luck with that. So what it comes down to is who has the coins right here, right now, have the coins. Almost every single solitary person I spoke to said, I got the message that says, I'm on back order until October. I'm on back order till October. I'm on back order till October. We were able to get enough coins to, I can't even do the 198. Okay? I can't even do the limited edition of 198, folks. My entire edition on this coin is going to be, I believe, under 100 coins, well under 100 coins by the time we get them through certification at this point. I sold 14 coins in a quick mention earlier. They're starting to go very, very quickly. You have to understand this is quite likely the only opportunity you are going to have for me to sell you this coin at $3,499. Once the world gets wind of what is happening. Because when everybody saw the back order, they assumed that that would be cleared up very quickly. That is not going to be the case. I have categorical evidence that this is going to be, any coins that are left over will be done in October, but at this point, with coins selling for substantial premiums, literally 12 hours, 24 hours after their release, with coins selling for substantial premiums, I don't believe that there'll be any coins that will be left over for October delivery and or October filling of orders. So what's going to happen is I think this coin is going to end up in a frenzied buying mode pretty quickly. So that is why I think it's of crucial importance that you understand it's less than the 2017. The 2017 took almost a year to sell out. This coin, given the already guaranteed rarity by the United States government on the front end of that, okay? Yeah. So you've got that part of it as well, and now you've got the fact that I actually have coins. So by the way, you don't have to wait until October. You can get your coins right here, right now.
You got them ready to go to ship right away.
Yeah, they're at the grading company. They're just putting them in holders right now. So we're going to have shipments almost immediately on this particular thing. And so, as a matter of fact, we needed every single solitary coin to go through grading because they are just not going to grade. We don't know how they're going to grade, and the coins are so limited and so rare and bringing such incredible premiums right now. I couldn't even spare one to put in the holder. If you notice, this is a different date than 2018. That's that's why we did that. I just had to have a coin here. I can't spare a single solitary coin.
Really?
They all have to go into holders because this is a coin. Normally, I've got a couple extra coins.
Right.
I have 0, 0, 0, 0 extra coins in this regard.
And you do get, of course, the Red Oak presentation box, but I'm just mentioning that. We've got about 3 more minutes left in our show, and I know we've had lots of exciting things, and I know that when you talk about, you know, coin collecting, this is something that, you know, you can, you know, put in your safety deposit box or enjoy, right? I mean, the idea is when you get a coin is to share, you know, to share, to show your friends, to, you know the story, and I love that Mike knows the story for all the coins, and that's why you shop here at HSN. By the way, if you're shopping for a coin like this, you've got to be really careful when you're getting a solid gold coin. When we say it is what we say it is. Right. We're a publicly traded company. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? That's part of it. And that's
very important. Yeah, I can assure you that the quality assurance program here and the legal team here,
very stringent.
They cross all the T's and they dot all the I's, and I think that's great. We've been able. That's why I've been here, you know, 15 plus years doing this, because we do the same. I do the same thing.
Yes,
so when I tell you that this coin immediately sold out, and I think this coin's going to be a monstrous coin because of what happened in the 2017s and 16s and 15s. Look at the 2012s. That's a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 coin. So now you have the opportunity to get this coin. If you didn't already order this, if you didn't already have the availability of this, now is the time to jump in. I think it's critically important for you to understand that in all the years I've been doing this, I have never seen a regular issue